All right, but this is Gerald Rowley's functional nutrition consultant. Today, we're going to talk about scars. Scars are a very important issue to address. And we don't really think about scars being a problem. We think that they're just there. They may be a little bit annoying in terms of just not looking aesthetically pleasing. And they also remind us of potentially some previous trauma. So many individuals will come into our clinic and maybe they got mauled by a dog, or they were in a fire catastrophe and they have these scars. And that's problematic if it hasn't healed 100%, because there are these Chinese meridians that run along our entire skin, okay? And the skin is the largest organ within the body. So you have to keep in mind that there's something about our skin and how well we have to take care of it. And these meridians, they run across the body in various areas, and many of the acupuncturists. Now, if you get acupuncture and you love it, just go ahead and put a comment, hit a like, just because I love getting acupuncture regularly. Acupuncture is so amazing. And as soon as I know about it, I fell in love with it, and it actually has helped me in terms of my healing journey. I have a lot of close friends that are acupuncturists, and I've also guest lectured at multiple acupuncture colleges across the country. So hands down, make sure if you're not getting acupuncture, go seek an acupuncturist, find someone who's seeing somebody. But here's the thing: if you have scars that are unresolved and the acupuncturist is now applying acupuncture needles, okay, they are trying to enhance flow within the meridians, okay? And we can think about the word qi. There's the encouragement of flow of qi along the meridians up and down, because when the energy is flowing on the meridian impeded, and it's flowing well, and it's flowing for consistently and constantly, the body has a chance to heal. What scars do is they either sever the flow across a meridian, or they slow it down, or they suck up the energy like a black hole would. Okay. And so if you are even, and for those who are getting acupuncture, if you get acupuncture and you have your scar work done, your acupuncture is actually even work better. And so you're going to be getting more for your money. So there are many acupuncturist colleagues that I work with and collaborate with that are already implementing, helping people to heal their scars, and then at the same time also applying acupuncture. And also there's certain acupuncture modalities or certain systems or methodologies that can actually help with the encouragement of the healing of certain scars. Now, today we're going to talk about what we do from a functional nutrition approach, so we can help facilitate this, not necessarily with acupuncture needles, but with nutrition and herbs. Okay, so let's talk about also the scars, how they can develop. The first step is, obviously, was it an injury to a particular area? So did someone fall off a bicycle or trip, or try to climb over some barbed wire and actually create a gash in their arm or their legs or their hands? You know, I wouldn't know why you want to be climbing barbed wire, but if it happens, whether it's barbed wire or a nail or a dog a scratch or a cat scratch or whatever fluke accident, people can develop scars. I have a couple of my knees from days of skateboarding as a child, and they're actually not even visible anymore because I've done a lot of scar healing work. Also, some scars can just develop due to the growth of the body. So think of actual stretch marks. Stretch marks are a mild form of a scar that can be helped with nutrition and eventually disappear. We also think about surgeries, any surgeries where organs have been removed or there have been incisions made in the body, and that potentially leaves a scar. Also, we want to think about piercings. Piercings are huge. If you go to my website, you'll see some success stories of individuals who had their symptoms resolved for, you know, they had certain symptoms for as long as they've had a specific piercing. And as soon as the scar at the site of the piercing has been resolved, then those symptoms disappear. And so what the piercing does is it's kind of like a mini incision, right? It pierces through the skin, and naturally the skin is going to try to heal that area. And the first area is to develop a scar. Unfortunately, if individuals are undernourished, they won't have enough nutrients to actually reverse and heal that actual site of damage, and that scar remains there. So piercing, I've seen piercings in the nose, I've seen piercings in the belly button's a big one, piercings in other places that, you know, we're not going to necessarily mention, but just imagine extreme pain if you were to have a piercing in that particular area. And you've seen some individuals too where they've gotten piercings and you're like, ooh, that may be painful to actually have. So just know that some of those piercings can also be problematic. And, you know, most women and girls will even have piercings on the ears, and the ears are so many acupuncture points. If you've received ear acupuncture, you've probably met an amazing acupuncturist, And I've seen, though, unfortunately, some individuals go and get pierced, and their piercing artists didn't know where the acupuncture points are, and they hit them. And from there's some scar tissue. And unfortunately, that does prevent healing or the flow of the qi along the meridians, especially when they pass through these points in the ears. I've seen people or individuals who have hit their head due to a car accident or fell, and they've had maybe their scalp split open, and there's a nice line that indicates that there's some scars in the scalp, and that hasn't healed. Okay, so now let's look, where are these meridians? A majority of the major meridians run along the head and the face, a lot of them along the midline, okay, and then they crawl around the arms and they go down the extremities to the legs. And I'll give you an example. I had a case with one athlete, soccer, an individual who played high school soccer and was an elite athlete, and started developing shin splints to the point where he was sidelined. And during my initial evaluation, we found that he actually had a scar from a hot dog burn during a grilling accident when he was younger, right directly on the shin. At the same time, during my evaluation, I found that he had some liver sluggishness, and along the liver, you have, along the shin, you actually have the liver meridian. So he not only had a scar there, but he also had toxicities within the liver and the gallbladder that we had to open the drainage pathways for. And eventually the shin splints actually disappeared. And I too, when I was younger, I remember I would play soccer, I would have shin splints. And I never thought about it, of course, for my liver gallbladder, if it was connected to some of my scars. So it's very important to address these scars. I've seen, if you go to my website and you look at some success stories, you'll see individuals who have had constant nightmares due to a belly button piercing. And as soon as that belly button piercing got fixed, the nightmares disappeared. So we see these just these amazing connections. And we see these connections, fortunately, after the healing has occurred. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind, that if you have any scars, piercings, tattoos, any previous surgeries, and you haven't done the proper scar work, then you're going to be thinking about specific oils. And we have in our clinic, we have a very special oil called wheat germ oil. It's 100% organic, cold pressed from heirloom seeds of wheat. And when that's applied for every single day for 90 days, for 4 minutes a day, we see miraculous results. Also, sesame seed oil has to be raw. You know, I'm half Chinese, and in our kitchen, we have roasted sesame seed oil, which we'll cook with. Oftentimes I'll have Asian clients that come in and they'll ask, can I just use my sesame seed from my kitchen? It's like, no, that's been roasted. There's a lot of nutrients that have been destroyed that no longer exist. So it has to be raw, cold pressed sesame seed oil. And in some cases, it can be blackcurrant seed oil. Now, in our clinic, what we do is we assess who needs what particular oil for the fastest healing, but you can go ahead and try this out on your own. In addition to oils, we also do apply lasers. So we have specific lasers, 2 different types of lasers, both using the same frequencies. It's around 650, I think it's nanohertz or so, that you have to be careful. You don't want to shine this in your eyes, but when you actually shine that across the lasers once a week for the course of 3-4 months, that can help with the oils to actually help those scars no longer be an issue. Okay. And then, of course, if you're getting acupuncture, start doing the scar work now. If you're getting acupuncture, keep getting the acupuncture. Don't stop because your meridians don't have optimal qi flow up and down due to the scars being present. So keep getting your acupuncture, work on your scars. And if you need assistance knowing whether a certain scar needs to be addressed or not, feel free to give me a call. Let us know how we can help, because some scars aren't along a meridian, and so they really aren't considered active, or they're not an issue. And some of you may have multiple scars. You know, I've seen patients who've come in and they've had over 20 surgeries, and we found that the scars to just 7 of those surgeries were active. And so we just had them focus on those particular scars instead of doing work on all 21 surgeries. And so we can help you out with that too as well. All right, if you have any questions about scars, piercing, tattoos, and how they may be preventing you from healing, feel free to reach out to us anytime.